Welcome to InspiredScripture.com, where we try to make the key lessons of the Bible relevant to you. In this video, we'll be talking about Psalm chapter 28, which we've titled Lessons from David on Effective Prayers When You Are Under Attack. David was a man who was attacked throughout his whole life, but he was also a man who prayed on a regular basis. And through the rich Psalms that he's left us, God reveals 7 lessons for us on how to be effective in our prayers when we are under attack. And the 7 lessons we're going to learn include faith, dependence, humility, trust, worship, gratitude, and a love for others. So let's 7 lessons and let's see how they apply in this psalm. So let's look at the first lesson. We're going to read the first 8 words of verse 1 to see how faith applies in our prayer life. A psalm of David. To you, O Lord, I call my rock. We stop there before we go further. David is crying out and saying, I am going to believe in you even though I can't physically see you. He is the rock upon which David depended to get through his trials. Jesus, we're told in John 4:14, he is the rock for us. He is the one that gives us a firm foundation. He is the one that provides for us and helps us to get through it. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Without faith, our prayers would be worthless before him. So the first lesson of effective prayer life when under attack is to have faith, to know that that unseen rock is there waiting to be a support for you. Lesson 2. We read from the second half of verse 1 through verse 2 about the importance of dependence. So let's read it together. Do not be deaf to me, for if you are silent to me, I will become like those who go down to the pit. Hear the voice of my supplications when I cry out to you for help, when I lift up my hands towards your holy sanctuary. David was a man who was a great warrior. He was a man of great strength. He was a man that others could look upon with envy and say, if there's someone who can get through his trials, it'd be David. But David was not that person. No matter how successful David was, he depended upon God to get him through his trials. If we want to be effective in our prayer life, the second lesson for us is to depend upon God and not in our own strength. We're told in Matthew 7 through 8, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be open. These all imply faith and they all imply dependence, that we are going to look and find and seek when we turn to the Lord and seek the answers from him and not through our own strength and our own knowledge. Lesson 3, humility. We read in verse 3, do not drag me away with the wicked and with those who work iniquity, who speak peace with their neighbors while evil is in their hearts. Now, why would David say this? Well, David knew he was a sinner. He knew he had no right to come to the Lord and say, I demand you do X, Y, and Z. He knew that he could be cast away with the sinners because he was a sinner too. So David approached God with humility to say, I don't deserve anything. I'm not entitled to anything. It's out of your mercy and grace that I know that you will be there for me. And that is the way that we should approach God in our prayer life. We have the confidence that Jesus provides us, but we're humble because we know that everything was done because of what Jesus did at the cross, not because of our own righteousness or worthiness. That is the third lesson of someone who has an effective prayer life, is humility. Let's look to lesson 4, trust. We read in verses 4 through 5, requite them according to their work and according to the evil of their practices. Requite them according to the deeds of their hands. Repay them for their recompense, because they do not regard the works of the Lord, nor the deeds of his hands. He will tear them down and not build them up. So what is David doing here? David is saying, Lord, I am under attack. People are trying to cause me harm. But David isn't picking up the sword and saying, hey, I'm going to go butcher these people and please justify my actions afterwards or bless what I'm about to do. He's saying, no, I'm leaving this to you. I'm trusting to you that you are going to take care of this circumstance that where I'm under attack. We don't know the particular trial he was under, but we knew that whatever trial he faced, the answer was the same. He was going to trust God. And that is the fourth lesson for us, if we were to be effective in our prayers, is to put our trust in God and not in ourselves. Lesson 5, worship. We read in verse 6, "Blessed be the Lord, because he has heard the voice of my supplication." Now, David is not saying, hey, I'm going to give you thanks because you answered my prayers. He is still in the midst of a trial, but he has faith to know that God has heard his prayer. God is going to answer him in God's timing and according to God's will, but he has the faith to know that God's heard his cries for help. We can worship the Lord in the midst of our trials and should do so. That is the fifth sign of someone who is effective in their prayer life. Their prayer life includes worship that focuses on God and not on ourselves and gives gratitude and thanks for who he is. Lesson 6, gratitude, a related part of prayer. We read in verse 7, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart exalts, and with my song I shall thank him." David is saying that even though his trial is still ongoing, he's going to be thankful because God is the one who has strengthened him. God is the one who's his shield. It's not his strength and his wit that's going to get him through this. It is him trusting in God and being grateful for what God has done for him already and for what God is going to do for him in the future. All of us go through trials, and we don't know the outcome of a trial while we're in it, but we can worship and give thanks while we're in a trial because God is going to allow things to unfold according to his plans. Not our plans, but his plans. His plans are always better than us. We may not see it at the time, but we will eventually understand that he's got a greater purpose. The message is that for us to be effective in our prayers, we should be grateful for his plans even before we understand them. Lesson 7, love. We read in verses 8 through 9, "The Lord is their strength, and he is a saving defense to his anointed. Save your people and bless your inheritance. Be their shepherd and also carry them forever." Now, David does something remarkable here. Most of us, when we pray, we immediately just think of our own needs. David is praying for the people that he wants to lead. He is praying and he's saying, save your people, bless your inheritance, be their shepherd. He is crying out to the good shepherd, Jesus, and praying that God will bless and protect his people. If we are to be effective in our prayer life, the message for us is that we should be praying not just for ourselves and for our immediate love and family members, our loved ones and family members, but rather for all of God's people. We should be praying for their salvation, for them to be pulled out of their chains of bondage. We should care and be an intercessor, praying for all those around us. It tells us in 1 Corinthians 13:13, "But now faith, hope, and love remain, these three. But the greatest of these is love." Jesus is the love that guides us and is within us, the light and love that shines through us, and we are to show our love to others by praying for others and to being Jesus' hands and feet for them. These are the 7 signs of someone who is effective in their prayers when they're under attack, and these are things that we should do at all times in our walk with the Lord. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website at inspiredscripture.com, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.